lot of ways that you could describe Darby Allin.
Yeah, like back insane, crazy, painless, fearless, out of his damn mind.
That being said, here is everything that you need to know about Darby Allin. Go.
Darby was born, well, right here, not here, but here in Seattle, Washington. But at the age of 5, Darby was involved in a near-fatal car accident that changed the trajectory of his life forever. It's also the reason he paints half a skull on his face, and it has caused him to defy death ever since.
If it is extreme, Darby Allin is in. Whether it's skateboarding, it's performing with the Nitro Circus, it's eating gross, climbing Mount Everest. But perhaps the most insane thing that Darby Allin does is inside an AEW ring.
Trained by Buddy Wayne, Nick Wayne's father, Darby made his AEW debut in 2019, and he immediately became a major player, competing in the inaugural TNT title tournament, the first ever casino ladder match, and facing the then AEW World Champion Jon Moxley, igniting a years-long feud.
At Full Gear 2020, Darby won the TNT Championship, his first title in AEW, and a month later, when needing some backup, Sting debuted by Darby's side, creating a deep friendship that lasts still to this day.
It's been a great run, and I could not have come this far without Darby Allin by my side. The best tag team partner that I've ever had.
Darby then traded the TNT title back and forth with Samoa Joe and teamed with Sting and the Great Muta in Japan for Muta's final match.
At the first ever All In London, Darby teamed up with Stinger again to defeat Swerve Strickland and Christian Cage in a coffin match, Darby's signature match.
But that was just the beginning, as Darby and Sting did the unthinkable and captured the AEW Tag Team Championships.
He's got gold again! For all the titles he has won throughout his enormous career, this may be the most satisfying.
Sting's only AEW title, which they held until Revolution 2024, where they faced the Young Bucks in Sting's farewell match, retaining the titles as Sting retired undefeated.
Darby won the 2024 Royal Rampage, earning himself an AEW World title shot, which he then put on the line and lost to Jon Moxley, starting the Death Riders' reign of terror, for which Darby takes personal blame for. After also failing to stop the career-ending injury of Bryan Danielson, Darby waged war against the Death Riders, leading to him being thrown down the steps of the Hammerstein Ballroom, being sidelined indefinitely.
During that time, Darby took his biggest personal risk, climbing Mount Everest. He set the world record for highest elevation kickflip and took the AEW flag all the way to the top, then made his return rappelling down from the ceiling of Globe Life Field at All In Texas to help Hangman Adam Page defeat Jon Moxley to end his world championship reign.
The war was then on with the Death Riders,
eventually defeating all of the members of the Death Riders in a lights-out steel cage match, blood and guts, and making Jon Moxley say "I quit" at Wrestle Dream, before turning his attention to the Death Riders affiliate, Gabe Kidd. After defeating him in a coffin match, Darby's personal scores were finally settled, and he turned his attention back to the AEW World Championship.
I'm gonna hold that throttle until I see God or the AEW World Championship. Maxwell Jacob Friedman, I'm coming.
MJF has had Darby's number since the early days of AEW, even beating him with a headlock takeover. But Darby always believed his time would come, and that his dedication to AEW isn't complete until he holds the gold.
The glass, the fire, the blood, what was it all for if I can't be world champion? What was it all for? I need this.
And that day finally came, April 15th, 2026, on Spring Breakthrough Dynamite from Everett, Washington, a 5-minute drive from where he first stepped inside a wrestling ring. After securing the #1 contendership from Andrade El Idolo at Dynasty, Darby didn't waste a second and called his shot at the next possible opportunity.
And unbeknownst, MJF strode into the building and got the news, to which he immediately scrambled for every excuse to get out of it. But a match is a match, and Darby ended his odyssey with, what else? A headlock takeover to become our new AEW World Champion.
Max, that Dynasty, Darby Allin.
Ladies and gentlemen, your main event.
Hey, we're talking about Darby?
Yeah.
Darby Allin, the guy that I've beaten twice with a headlock takeover?
With a 16-minute time
Darby
limit
Allin won the match at Dynasty. He wants to challenge you for the title tonight.
is full.
Do you think that I'm wrestling in an impromptu match
Elite wrestling.
that I just found out about 3 seconds ago? You're about as stupid as you look.
Championship.
You're not ready to be world.
All it takes is one night to drop the wrestling world on its head.
You already know what to do. Now get out there and do it.
I climbed Mount Everest and I hung that flag on top of the world.
It's showtime.
And I said, I'm either gonna make it as Darby or I'm gonna fail as Darby. But I'm not changing a single thing.
It's not showtime. It's your time.
And tonight, I climbed to the top of this sport and I didn't change one thing.
Oh, come on!
All it takes is one night.
It's your time.
Coffin drop by Darby!
Tonight, I climbed to the top of this sport.
4 in a row! The side headlock takeover, he's got him hooked! Where were you on Wednesday, April 15th?
And I didn't change one thing.
Let's break down a few of Darby Allin's signature moves that make him so effective. First up, the coffin drop.
Emblematic of how he approaches life, Darby scales the top rope, then crosses his arms and hurls his entire body backwards without looking, completely knocking the wind out of his opponent.
Darby has also adopted the Scorpion Deathlock. I wonder who we got that from. A legendary submission move where he threads his legs through his opponents, flips them over, and wrenches, putting intense pressure on their knees, hips, and back until they submit.
But Darby's greatest strength is his pain tolerance.
Flying through glass, being set on fire, getting thrown through tables and stairs, leaping from unprecedented heights, using his body as a weapon, being hung upside down, crashing cars. There is nothing that you can do to make him quit.
It's a defining moment not only for his career, but a defining moment for all Elite Wrestling.
And that is why Darby Allin is the spirit of AEW.